Hare Krishna, welcome to our channel, Bhagavad-gita, here it is, because we have Bhagavad-gita as it is translated and commentary. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. My name is Labanga Latika. So, we are entering the chapter 14 about the three modes of material nature, and this is very useful to get, to be able to kind of understand the world and to be able to kind of make these choices, to not get more entangled than necessary, to choose what life we want to do. And we can't do that if we don't know anything. And last time we heard about the mode of goodness, which is a more useful position, especially for persons who are interested in spiritual life. It's not spiritual, it's material. These modes are material, all of them. But in this world we're covered by this body, by a certain amount of illusion, because how could we live here without that? It's possible. It is possible to have a purely spiritual consciousness in this world, but it doesn't come automatically. And today we are reading text 7.
Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
So, yes, I'm reading the Sanskrit because that's how Krishna speaks it. Rajo ragatmakang vidhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Yeah, this word comes back, badnati, last verse, and here nibadnati, and it means binds. These modes are binding. Sometimes we translate the qualities, three modes of material nature, three qualities of material nature. And the word is guna, and that is also sometimes translated as ropes. So they bind us here. And mode of passion, raja guna, raja, binds, the living entity is bound to material fruitive activities. Purport. The mode of passion is characterized by the attraction between man and woman. Woman has attraction for man, and man has attraction for woman. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in the mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation, and he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife and house. These are the products of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activities and thus becomes bound by such activities. In order to please his wife, children and society and to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in a mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standard of the mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what to speak of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? It is often said that the material, the human society, the human condition, the human body is mostly based on the mode of passion. Because everything else that we see, animals and plants and fish, and they are more in the mode of ignorance. Because they cannot achieve things, they cannot strive, they cannot have that drive that human beings have. And we also have higher living entities on the higher planets. We have the demigods, we have the devas, the gandharvas, apsaras, different forms of angels or siddhas, perfected living beings that have higher levels in this world, and they are more conditioned by the mode of goodness. But even as human beings, we can take a step back. English is not my first language, obviously, so I don't have the exact nuances or levels of different words, but there is this expression of, the rat race, keeping it up with the neighbors, and we have to, generally, when we live in this world, we have to work. But we can, mode of goodness, you work out of duty. And you can do it with a sense of inner peace. Mode of passion, there is no inner peace. There is a fire in the inside to get, to achieve, to desire, and in order to do that, then we have to have a position, we have to have an income, we have to have so many things. I mean, a person in the mode of goodness can also have a family and can also have a livelihood, but it's different. And the mode of passion, it really binds us in this world, because by doing these activities for our own, to fulfill our own desires, then that karma is ours, and we will have it. It will carry us on to our next body, to our next life. And it is important to recognize it, and it's not always so easy to recognize it. I sometimes hear that. I mean, I'm living with Krishna devotees for the last so many years, and sometimes I've heard this idea that mostly being active in spiritual life means consciously choosing a life in the mode of goodness. And then, of course, mode of goodness is not sufficient. It is still material. We still have to add the aspect of spiritual life to it. But the activities, the lifestyle of cleanliness, peacefulness, all these qualities is more conducive to spiritual life. And then sometimes I've heard people express the idea that, but sometimes we have to enter into the mode of goodness to get something done. That is not true, because mode of goodness is more active. It doesn't necessarily get you more results. It just gets you more entangled and drawn in and yeah, body language. So that's the mode of passion, and that is kind of natural for human life. But another thing we have when we have a human body, when we are human, is that we have intelligence, we can have some perspective, we have a certain amount of ability to use our free will. So we can learn about these modes of nature, we can learn about what gives what result, and then we can come to our own conclusion. Like Arjuna will come to that conclusion a little further ahead in the Bhagavad-gita. Krishna says, okay, now I have described all this knowledge, I have given you this whole perspective. You think about it, you consider it carefully, and then you decide yourself what you want to do. And Arjuna says, thank you, Krishna, you gave me all this knowledge. I understand it now, I agree with it, I will definitely do the right thing. So that's what we can do as human beings. We can make choices, but we should have, in order to make choices, we have to base them on knowledge. And there is a lot of knowledge in this world, but without that inner knowledge of the soul and that practical knowledge of the needs of the soul and how to achieve them and what is an obstacle, then we can't really make informed choices. So here in the life, it's very good to understand what's the mode of ignorance. We haven't gotten there. We heard about mode of goodness, we're reading about mode of passion, we will hear about mode of ignorance, and then we will get many examples of what it means and how we can see it in different situations. So yeah, I always had a little bit of a hard time to getting into the modes of nature because it's a little technical. It's not directly speaking about Krishna, but we're living in this world, and if we don't understand what we're doing, if we don't know what we're doing here, it will be difficult to adhere to spiritual life. So it is very useful knowledge. I'm happy to have you here with us, and I hope you come back next time. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,